Who knows what happened in 1903? Kitty Hawk. Anybody know what happened in 1903 at Kitty Hawk? How many caught a plane here? Okay, that's a tip. All right, that's a tip. Right, 1903. I mean, think about what the Wright brothers did. It's 1903, but imagine the process leading up to the day they had to go to Kitty Hawk. They were at Kitty Hawk. They had no evidence that a plane could fly. They're studying aerodynamics. They're studying, physics and all this other kind of stuff. And by their best assumption and estimates, they can make this plane fly, despite the fact that, the Royal Society said that heavier than airplanes are not going to fly. I think they said that in 18 something. It was like 4 or 5 years before Kitty Hawk, right? But despite that, despite the belief and the paradigm that it was impossible, they decided to do it anyway, right? Now remember, this had never ever happened before, okay? We're not talking about building a better plane. We're talking about building the first ever. So they go through all this. They go through this process. They take all this time to do all this stuff, and now it's showtime. And they go in there, and you can tell they're really excited. They put all this work into it. They're highly intelligent. They built this plane, and it's time for the plane to take flight. And the plane flies for like 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Now the story could have been completely different. I mean, the story could be, Wilbur slit the throat of his brother, right? Because he lied to him, or he was frustrated, he was disappointed, he was a loser. But it's really about perspective, because while they could have said, this sucks, and just gave it up and did something else, who knows where we would be as far as the air industry goes if they would have done that. I'm sure somebody else would have probably followed up, but who knows how far we would be, right? But what did they do? Their perspective on that was, we succeeded. We succeeded. Only thing we have to do now is fine-tune the process and make it better. So we can now get the plane to fly, not for 12 seconds, but maybe 12 hours, right? So here's my question for you. How many of you have ever done anything, even if you're not doing it anymore, whether it's network marketing, mail order, or some kind of business outside of your job, and you made a little bit of money? Raise your hands. Right? You didn't get rich, but you made a little bit of money. Now, how many of you stopped doing it? Raise your hands. See, there's a huge difference. What if the Wright brothers would have stopped? The fact that you were able to sell something, the fact that you were able to do it and make that first dollar, make that first sale, make that first $10 or whatever, was proof that all the evidence that you needed that you can become wealthy doing it. Now, the process is probably different from selling one to selling 100,000, but the fact that you did it was enough evidence and proof that all you had to do was fine-tune your own process. And see, here's the thing. I believe that the issue that many people have is that you understand where it is you are, and that's perfectly clear. You can see that. You understand where it is you want to go, and for most people, they have a lot of clarity on that. But the part that is fuzzy is what it looks like getting there. And if you don't know what the path to success looks like, you will bail out every single time. Because for the most part, it's not a friendly path. People don't want to understand you. Listen, there wasn't a single person in my family that understood what I was doing. I think it's very difficult to understand the entrepreneurial pathway, the entrepreneurial mindset, the entrepreneurial spirit. It's a very, very unique type of spirit. People just don't understand it all the time. So you see where you are right now, and it's clear. You know what it is you want to become, and that's clear. But man, that road and getting there, it's kind of like people understand what a caterpillar looks like and what that's all about, and people understand what a butterfly looks like and what that's all about. But how many people can actually tell you what the whole process of the cocooning process looks like? Not many people know what that looks like. I mean, you know what the cocoon is, but we don't know what starts it. We don't know what ends it. We don't know what's going on inside of it. But isn't it true that that caterpillar is sitting in there all alone, probably dark, cold, isolated, bored, no cable, good grades, no DVDs, no video games. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? But see, here's the difference. The caterpillar doesn't have a choice. it can't say, I don't want to be cocooned. Unless it gets stepped on or it dies, it is genetically designed and engineered to become a butterfly, right? And there's no way it's going to resist the cocooning process. Well, here's the thing. Regardless of how old you are, regardless of what's happened in your past, you're genetically engineered to become successful. It's in your genes. It's supposed to happen. But we kind of screw things up because we have a brain. We have the ability to think. We have the ability to choose. And unfortunately, here's the thing. Cross your arms. Beat me to it. All right, cross your arms. And I want you to look at which wrist is on top. Cross your arms. Okay, look at which wrist is on top. Everybody cross your arms. Still waiting for a few people. It's kind of easy. Right? All right, now look at which wrist is on top. Okay, now uncross your arms. Now cross them the opposite way. Cross them the opposite. I see some people struggling a little bit. That's okay. It's okay. Now here's the thing. Are you able to cross your arms the opposite way? Yes. Now, is it as comfortable as the other way? No. And that's the thing about becoming successful. When you're looking to accomplish something you've never accomplished before, it's going to require of you things that you've never done before, experiences that you never had before. It's going to require change. And for the most part, change can be uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means that you have to learn to adapt to discomfort. You have to learn to adapt to stretching yourself. You have to learn to embrace the unfamiliar. You have to learn to embrace the unknown. Otherwise, I think that what happens is, just like we just naturally cross our arms a certain way, we will snap right back into what's comfortable when we're presented with an opportunity to become successful. Well, because it's too painful. It's requiring too much of us. It's requiring too much of a change in our schedule, our finances, our commitment, and all these different things. And it's just easier to do what it is we've always been doing. On a regular basis, I continue to push myself.